a woman atop the Hunter's Lodge. Never thought I'd see that sunrise.
Alright, you probably heard enough of that. I'm back. I made my cup of coffee twice. Thank you for the break time. And a 1, and a 2, and 3, 4, 5.
Nice to have a break. Hard.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
I don't like a woman as head of the Hunter's Lodge. At least she's noble Karja, unlike those savages. The woman now stands as Sunhawk of the Hunter's Lodge.
It's crowded here. Meridian is too crowded for me. Meet Erend at the Palace of the Sun. Oh, do we want to do that right now? Yeah. Yeah, let's see where that's headed. Into the Borderlands. It appears Erend's sister Ursa was kidnapped instead of slain. Many questions remain. Where is she? Who is responsible and why? Let's see what he has to say and what's coming next. We might break off from that quest, though, and head up to Cauldron Zeta. I'm guessing that's Cauldron Zeta. Maybe our last one.
She played by the rules and won.
Fine goods for a fair price.
Don't ask me where to go if you're lost. I'm a guard, not the town crier.
To Murad, why aren't we talking to Erend? Here's Erend.
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Murad. Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erend?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see
Rango,
the
this
Sun
could be
King.
pretty heavy story
Yes,
stuff.
and each has come
I
to
want to
us
put your
for
fingers in
favor.
your ears for a few minutes.
Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you, the machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm not here to intrigue you.
Too late.
Is there a line to get in? We get to skip the line! To the front.
Passed by some Outlander woman.
Yeah, passed by some Outlander woman. You all have to wait! Aloy doesn't have to wait.
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
Yeah, they are, huh?
What's the Sun King like?
The most important thing is what he isn't like. His father. I think you'll find him to be a reasonable man.
And what, is he up there? He is up there.
Aloy of the Nora. She who sees the unseen. Welcome. It would seem you have done me a great service. Erend.
Cool
Tell me
hat,
what you
man.
found.
I checked Ursa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ursa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that. Ursa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible. Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ursa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well. Erend, Murad. Let me discuss it with her privately. I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
You and Ursa, Dervahl, questions about the Karja, Sundom. Take it from the top.
It sounds like Ursa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ursa has a way of making her people see reason. So you see, I need her back at my side. And quickly.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram. Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty. He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
So, why would Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ursa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. Then she came to me. Together, we stopped him and liberated the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies, I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
I think we heard other people talking about Dervahl before. Current Sun King, who works for peace, relatively speaking, is interested in peace, whereas his father was a bloodthirsty madman, or so we've been led to believe. But when his father, the Mad Sun King, was killed, I guess Dervahl was not. So the king may have been taken out, but not everyone who supported him.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't approve? Well, I have a secret for you. Neither do I. But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
Hey, Shags.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ursa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here. But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans in the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Carja nobles. It's a volatile situation, especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ursa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
You're tuning in for today's episode of the Ministry of Silly Hats. Shags, and you came in at a good time. This is our first meeting with the Sun King. This hat's,
What
okay,
can you
not
tell
as silly
me about
as
the
some.
Shadow Carja? What do they have to do with
Kind of
Ursa?
like his.
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ursa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ursa.
Who says that?
Well, Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erend if you have further questions.
I think we do. Founding of Meridian, a scribe's book of carefully copied glyphs. The founding of Meridian. We are Carja. In us is the blood of those led by Araman from persecution and pursuit so long ago. Out of the far savage east we came, guardians of a treasure greater than the land or metal, the leaves of the old ones. Araman found the leaves in a ruin, picked out by a beam of sunlight, and he recognized at once their importance. Within was etched the first teachings of how to observe the sun, to recognize its guidance, and to understand the place of man. From out of the leaves came the first glyphs, the first writing, so our knowledge could last longer than voices. But when our forefathers offered to share this gift, they were driven out by those they had once called tribesfolk. These ones feared to have the light of knowledge brought to bear on their ignorance, or were jealous of its power. And so began the long wandering of our people, trusting only that the sun would guide them and deliver them from the barbarian tribes. The path was hard, and marked by the stones of families who fell along the wayside, even Araman's own. The persecution was unceasing, from those without purpose, only the desire to debase and destroy. But the faith of the Carja was rewarded with a distant vision, a tower like a solid ray of the sun, holding on the horizon, flashing. Even as their enemies descended upon them, Araman followed the flight of the Glinthawks, leading his people through looming canyons and teeming jungles. Again they saw the tower, so close now it seemed to reach to the very sun itself, and they saw that the Glinthawks perched upon it. Beheld in the light of the sun, the tower, the spire, cast its long shadow upon a mesa across the verdant valley. Araman knew he had found a haven for the tribe, as this was a place shunned by those without his faith, who cowered from the magnificence of the spire or the shining feathers of the Glinthawks. He named this place Meridian, from a passage in the leaves, and the tribe settled in the protection of the great mesa. They found the site was blessed in every respect, carving their cliff houses from the bounteous resources, and in time from the red rock of the mesa itself, crowning it with the first columns of the City of the Sun. Truly, the sun gave much to the descendants of our forefathers, granting Meridian great harvests and prosperity, and the bounds of the sundom for as far as its light touched. In time, seeing Meridian shielded us from dark arrows and plots of our foes, other foreigners brought trade and tribute. Holy Meridian! Without spire and sun, there would be no Meridian, but now and forevermore it stands as monument to both. And the glory of Araman and the founders is reflected anew in each Sun King of the Radiant Line, the noble houses of the Sun Court. I don't want to forget this one. Grab the book before we talk to Erend. What is it over here? Hello? The Sun Kings. Like a record of individual Sun Kings. We read something about some of the individual Sun Kings before, but I don't think we read this. Chronicle of the Sun Kings. The founder, Araman, who guided our forefathers from the shadows of the savage east into the fastness of the Mesa Valley, and who, reading the signs of the sun and shadow both, delivered them to the site of Holy Meridian. the bounteous Amavad, who oversaw the clearing and sowing of the royal maize lands, so that none who walked in the sun's favor should go hungry again, who cut back the jewel to claim the rich estate lands for the first houses of the Sun Court. The far-seeing Sadahin, who expanded the sun's dominion to the north, south, and east, setting a gate at Bright Market Harbor, and who before the sun at its highest proclaimed these lands would be known as the Karja Sundom, so by the light it was good. Generous Juadan, who stocked the metal markets with the spoils of his own trampler hunts, and who allowed trade from the north and south, even permitting outlanders the gift of the counting glyphs, so they might understand more than simple barter. Zavarad, the Pilgrim Sun King, whose tower was raised to the top of the Ridge of Veils, and who crossed the great waters of the Daybreak, so the Sundom might extend even further, and to honor this passage had the great Blazon Arch raised on the far shores. Old Iriv, who saw the sun's passing into the west as a challenge, and forged after it with a great army to be pushed back 3 times at the great canyon lands that would be known as the Daunt, until on the 4th time his cohort broke through and were vanished in the lands beyond. Prudent Basadid, who had the mantle of his fallen brother thrust upon him suddenly, who ordered the construction of the fortress of Sunfall and the garrison at Blazon Arch, declaring the land beyond it the forbidden west, where only the sun may go. Kuvadin, the returner, who strove to bring civilization to the savage east, but returned after many strenuous endeavors, saying it was no longer fit for the people of the sun, and called for the building of great towers and walls so this wild land might be observed safely. Ranan, the Firebird, who saw the Sundom suffer unprovoked attack by the Tenakth horde, and who, against the protests of his advisors, accompanied his army to confront them. Under the sun he claimed victory, though he was so greatly scarred he wore his Blazon helmet from that day. Nahasis, who was a hunter as much as a Sun King, and called for the proudest men of the noble houses to prove themselves in competition beneath the sun, and that those who felled the greatest machines would be situated as the first Sunhawk and Hawks of the Hunter's Lodge. The illuminated Marzid, who the sun visited with visions so vivid and grand he commissioned many statues and frescoes of his visage in Meridian, and for his summer palace in Sunfall had the great citadel raised, where he remained painting until he took deathly ill from his own pigments. Evas, elder brother of Marzid, who decreed each family with a suitable male child should submit that child in service of the Sundom's then depleted ranks, and had the artisans turn their attention from works of art to outfitting each soldier of the sun with the very finest armor, halberd, and bow. Jiran, who in his early years was a strong Sun King, defending the Sundom from the encroachment of other tribes and the derangement of the machines, but who became greatly addled and ordered the spilling of much blood in the sun's name, threatening to bring a twilight time upon us. And now Avad, the liberator. What will his legacy be?
So, I thought Ursa was dead, and I thought Dervahl was dead. Dead doesn't seem to mean what it used to. Or maybe I'm just an ass.
Could be both.
Whatever. All I know is that it's time to find my sister and get some payback. I hope Murad's guy grabs us the lead.
Did Ursa ever tell you anything about Dervahl?
We were both under his command for a while. Sort of. Helped him recruit an army to take out the mad Sun King. But then he got real creepy with Ursa. Needless to say, she wasn't interested, but he wouldn't let it go. Not to mention the fact that we realized he wanted to murder every Karja, not just the bad ones. Long story short, he's a grazer-licking dumbbag.
Avad seems committed to finding
They
your
like
sister.
the word dung here a lot.
Yeah, those two got along. And some people say they shacked up, but I don't buy it. Seems a little skinny for her. Oh, okay, some bad images are forming in my head. Let's just focus on finding her. And kicking Dervahl's ass.
Deal.
I'd better go.
Don't stand me up in Pitchcliff, okay? Ursa needs us.
Aloy, how can I be of service?
It's obvious that you're an advisor to the Sun King, but what is it you do exactly?
Whatever is needed, of course.
Are you always so evasive?
It depends.
I guess that's a yes.
You were right about Avad. He seems genuine.
He is the Sun King. I serve him the best I can. What else would you have me say?
Huh. Did you serve the last one as best you could too?
Well, I served him to his enemies. It was the best I could do for the Sundom.
What did you do?
Nothing I could be blamed for.
Sounds to me like you're a spy.
There are many helpful voices in the Sundom and beyond. I like to think of myself as a good listener.
So why do they call you Blameless Maraud?
Well, it depends on who you mean by they, and what they might wish to blame me for.
Talking to you is tiring.
So they say.
What will I find at the border?
An outpost full of Oseram, most of whom want nothing to do with Dervahl. Still, he inspires great loyalty in those who fought with him against the last Sun King. He will not be caught alone. And don't forget, he is a master craftsman. Nothing delights him more than his dangerous toys.
Okay.
What makes you so sure Dervahl did this to Ursa?
I don't care for sure or certain. I prefer likely or probably. How many Oseram are clever enough for this ruse? Capable of building the weapon you described? Who hate Ursa so? More than one? Not likely. Dervahl? Quite probably.
Even if people think he's dead.
That is surely another reason to be suspicious of certain words.
I have to go.
Then you must.
Pitchcliff is far to the north. Maraud sounds like Morgan Freeman's evil younger brother. Hadn't thought of that. Why don't we head towards this tall neck to reveal the rest of the map? And then maybe head for Cauldron Zeta. We could stop and do some collectible hunting along the way. Let's jump to this campfire. We can grab some collectibles, find a vantage at the tall neck.
The Icemen come.
Whoa! Cauldrons color me interested. Iceman, what's happening? Cauldrons hype. What's on your plate today, Iceman? Little flower looks like it might be up in the hills. Even at a higher point than where we're at right now. Possibly. There somewhere. He just finished doing the yard work. Yay, me! You are, you're quite a few steps ahead of me. I haven't done any yard work this year. Alright, maybe I've got a decent excuse, but even if I didn't have a good excuse in the surgery, I probably wouldn't have done much anyways. Oh. Oh. Didn't realize which spot this was. Pick up a little bit of what we left behind when we were here. This is not the flower over here, but something else. Ten inventory slots just got used up by looting those two little piles. In one sense, it should be easy to find the metal flowers just by spotting the plant growth around them, since it takes such a distinct shape. An ancient toothpick. Worth it! Always wanted an ancient toothpick. Hey, nice. Iceman submitted a new Ice Cube emote today. I look forward to seeing it. I started resubmitting some old emotes. I got the oops approved finally, and I made a new sad emote with tears streaming down my face. They actually wouldn't take J sad, it had to be J tears. I don't know if it's approved yet. It wasn't approved before the stream, but it's been almost 2 days, so they're probably going to approve it soon. I did not realize I was nowhere near close enough. Metal flower, we weren't even on the edge of where its zone begins. Thought I was smack in the middle of it. Oh, we've got to go down. Not getting down here. Oh, this is bad. This is not a good place to be. But the triangle of flowers that grows around the metal flowers, I would almost expect to be able to spot it from up here. Oh, I see a repelling spot. Good. Quick, pull out the paraglider. I would love to have a paraglider in this game. I want a paraglider in every game. Every game, please. Can that just be a standard feature in all games from now on? Well, there's gotta be something down there. How about a paraglider with a mounted rocket launcher on it? We could all make good use of that. We're on the far edge of this. Mark it over near the wall. So between here and there, somewhere in here, there should be a middle flower. A little surprised it hasn't popped up already. I mean, the zones aren't that big. The areas where these things can appear, not that big. This isn't that huge an area. Your focus should be able to scan most of that at once. But if it was up top, hopefully it's not up top. Why is this one proving so hard to find? Of course it's up top. Well, we started up top. I didn't find it up top. Yeah, of course it'll be up top. Be somewhere up there, even though I was up there looking. We rappelled down from about that spot. I didn't see anything up there, up there, up there, up there, looking down. You busted my balls here. I am definitely up top. Too bad we can't just rappel back up. We can fast travel to the campfire on the far side. That'll get us back up there pretty quick. This one, we can just run up this path and we'll be back up top. Hey, you guys weren't there before. So we rappelled down from over there. It's gonna be right out here on this, isn't it? Still don't see it though. Probably shouldn't put corruption on a Glintock. Not gonna keep it away from me. I might actually see the patch of flowers if it's right out there on the edge. Oh shit, I can see it. It was right behind where I rappelled down from. Of course it was. Of course it was. See where we rappelled down? Right over there? It was right here.
What made these flowers?
Our second one in set 2. The moon's reflected on the river a few feet away. A lantern shines in the night near the third watch. On the sand, egrets sleep, peacefully curled together. Behind the boat, I hear the splash of jumping fish.
And why?
Right? Well, let's rappel down again so we can get to that vantage. Over there, but gotta get to the ground first.
I just gotta tough this.
And where'd all these beasties come from? They weren't here just a few minutes ago. Yeah, Tyler, the first time I saw that repelling animation scared the hell out of me. I thought she had just straight jumped off. Iceman, what's that? What a crock! Oh, what a what a crock! I'll go. I'll just go. That took a little bit to set in. I'm a bit slow. Hey, there's our tall neck. And I hope the vantage is up there. Should be a nice view. Yep. That's where it's gonna be. It's gotta be. That's one of my favorite RoboCop quotes. Iceman. That's I named the channel in Discord for posting sales after that. Oh, I'd buy that for $1. Oh, God, she slipped off. Almost slipped all the way off. Short on room. Sorta. Oh, I hope this is a good one. Each of the vantages give us a glimpse into the past. We get an audio log, we get a text log, and we also get a glimpse of what the spot we're in looked like a long time ago. What do we have there? Hot air balloons, drones. A lot, quite a lot in the sky.
Day 11. I came out here to die. But instead of overdosing at Wyatt's cottage, I went out walking along the water. I was standing right here when the idea hit me. And the moment it did, I knew I had to do it.
Yeah, Guerrilla did the Killzone games, and Killzone Shadowfall, I think it was called, was one of the PS4 launch titles. It was one of the big hardware showcase games when the system came out. They're actually owned by Sony? Damn, I wasn't that clear on it. Vantages. Lake Powell. Oh, not in Colorado anymore. Hi, Ma. I came here with a duffel bag full of drugs after I found out about the plague. I had a plan, a simple one. I figured I'd spend a few days getting high, then OD on Overcast. I guess I was still furious at Wyatt for aiding and abetting your silence. If everything had gone according to plan, my corpse would have lay rotting in the cottage for who knows how long. You would have needed at least catastrophic cleaning bots just to scrape me off the floor. Skeletal middle finger from beyond the grave. But things didn't go to plan. For some reason, I went out walking before I got high. I trudged along the shore, thinking of all the times we walked and talked here. How I'd changed over the years. How you'd stayed the same. Whether I was a high schooler jabbering about AP classes or a university student gossiping about my professors, or an FAS engineer pontificating about payload yields, you were always there, always listening, always interested, and always encouraging me, of course, spurring me on, onwards and upwards. But now, here I was, an abject failure, standing alone on this beach, as all around me children chased playbots across the sand, sunbathers basked, families splashed in the water, or zipped past on old-timey boats, utterly oblivious to the mechanical terrors that would soon consume them. Brief moments in the sun, doomed to end in horror and amount to nothing. All your love and devotion, all the sacrifices you made to support my success, what had that come to? Failure. At such cost. We never even got a chance to say goodbye. But even if I hadn't failed, if I'd gone on succeeding, would that have been any better? The whole time I was clawing my way up the ladder at FAS, the company's military division was creating the tech that would end the world. I served the same master. Success was a ladder to nowhere. It just took falling off and landing on the Vantage project to see it. Hey, Tyler, what's up? I don't know why, but the irony of that had never hit me until I was standing on this beach. That it was only because I'd failed and been assigned to Vantage, an abandoned time capsule project, that I'd found out the world was ending. Vantage, huh? Irony? More like a cosmic joke. Why then did the realization hit me like an inspiration? I had access to the tech, I knew I could do it. Sure, in the end, it would probably all just come to nothing, like everything else, but for 50,000 years or more, whatever data I left behind would still be here. There. Wouldn't be much, but it wouldn't be nothing either. I went back to the cottage, stashed the drugs, called a lift spin into town. If I was going to make an end-of-the-world tour, I figured I might as well do it in style, so I leased a Sabara and rode that to FAS. I let myself into the lab, signed out 12 Vantage spikes for testing, put them in the trunk of the Sabara, and the rest is history. It was less than 2 weeks ago. Feels like forever. When I started the tour, I figured I'd come back here and pick up where I left off. Get high, then dead. But the first thing I did when I got back was incinerate the drugs. All 2.5 months of salary worth. So that bridge to oblivion has literally been burned. I don't know how I'm gonna die, but it can't be like that. I know how you felt about me and drugs. However it happens, I can at least promise you this. I will die clean. I still have one last spike to sink. One final stop on the Grand Mystery Tour. I'll see you there. I like that. I like that. T. Lopez, hello. How are you today? Yeah, not a big fan of things that are exclusive to one platform or the other. Even if it includes some of the best games. I can't support that kind of lockout. This is one of those games I wish everybody could have a chance to play. Being exclusive doesn't help that. Heading for that tall neck? Let's head for that tall neck. Not that we really need the marker. The thing kind of stands out. But it's up there. I think we'll have to go through the water, but I want to take a look over here. Oh, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will.
Look out below!
Yeah, we're not jumping, Aloy. I do too, Iceman. Not specifically the hats, but the merging of tribal costume and tech. Old world and new. I think they did a great job putting them together. Too steep? Just barely too steep. I haven't stopped to think about how Aloy must smell at this point in the game. Every outfit she's got has been soaked in muck and water and blood and...
I might regret this.
Wombat, did you see what they were making the hardware that was made as a bit of a joke for the new South Park game, the Fractured But Whole. They made an olfactory device when they were showing off the game. I bet you can guess what they used it for. Fortunately, they're not mass producing it for sale with the game. That would make a nice collector's edition, wouldn't it? Just for the joke value alone, they would sell many copies. They made that a collector's edition. Tyler, you wouldn't mind exclusives if they were eventually multi-platform? If they were all timed exclusives as opposed to forever? Look at the dark clouds in the sky. I don't think we've seen the sky look like that. Or gotta be a way up. Maybe we have to go through structure. Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. That one was kind of a ridiculous exclusive situation. Fail. I should not have even come around here, huh? We're not gonna find anywhere to climb. Nope. Just reach the end of the line. Probably gonna have to. Man. Is this up top? That's a little cheesy. I just walked by this campfire. I didn't really... And it's not down here with us. That campfire's got to be up there. Ah, hell, why not? That's where I'm trying to get to. Up on the platform. Rotacon, good day or night, fellas. Hope you don't mind me spending my last hour of the day with you. No, I'm glad you can make it. Cheers. We're probably going to be going another... somewhere between 1 and 2 hours. I'm a little sore from starting PT again today. I'm still thinking we might wrap a little early. If we find a good point, a good stopping point, or who knows, we might go another couple hours. Kind of wanted to get not just the tall neck, but also Cauldron Zeta out of the way today, and then we should have all our overrides. Huh. Jake, the game reminds you of Fallout New Vegas?
My focus is receiving another signal.
That just the desert setting? Or is it more than that? You like the golden bow? Yeah, we finished all the hunting grounds trials with Blazing Suns. We got a new sling and a new bow and a new rope caster.
I saw some of what happened in the Proving. I can't believe you survived it. I can't believe any of us did.
Yeah, Neum, I just skimmed your comment there, but looks like you're talking about the diversity of hardware, what that means for PC games.
It looks like that machine carries fluid in those sacks.
Where'd you all come from? What the hell?
Must be closing in on the signal. I have to climb up to the tall neck's head.
But yeah, one of the biggest advantages of consoles in terms of potential stability is only having to build for a few different sets of hardware. And that will never be possible with PCs. There will always be too many hardware variations for things to just simply be
Fascinating. If they weren't looking
smooth and running as intended on every hardware variation. good way up. Unless I can sneak through this hole. Nope, wishful thinking. Maybe we can get this Bello back on our side. If I can get around him before he sees me. Too many variables. There you go. There's a good, simple way to put it. My brain's been a bit mush today. I don't know if that's come through on the stream, but I was feeling it from this morning. Maybe it was getting up early. But, that's what I was waiting for. Stop moving. Alright, we don't need to kill that watcher. He just caught my attention. Yeah, the tall neck can kick you or other things that get in its path. We even had Talana of the Hunting Lodge. Talana got stepped on by a tall neck while we were walking back from a mission. It might have been after, what's his name? Red Maw. Or one of the missions before then. Got to be a good spot. There can't be a better spot. Maybe one of the other... I saw another spot that's possible, but...
Made it. Now to climb up.
This'll do. This is different. One of the patch notes, the one from earlier this week, or was it last week? Anyways, this game got a patch, and one of the patch notes was fixing a bug where you could get thrown from the top of a tall neck and killed as it moved about. Last tall neck. All tall necks overridden. Let's see it. Give us our map. Yeah, Iceman got all the Blazing Suns in the Hunting Lodge trials today too. Getting our first silver and gold trophies now in the game. Looky, looky, looky. Nice. So let's do this. Let's aim for the full 6 hours today. I'm not feeling too sore. I'm doing all right. Let's head towards this cauldron. I'll probably take a break before we go in. And then after I take a short break, we'll trudge through the cauldron. I hope it's a good long one. Even if it's not, we'll see how that goes before deciding to go any further. And then tomorrow, I think we'll do a big collectible cleanup tomorrow, and probably some of the story. And then Saturday, we'll make a big push. I've been told we might not finish the story by Saturday. I'm skeptical. I think if we stay on story quests for an 8-hour stream, we might just have it finished. The notebook real quick. Game progression. Game completion is at 69%. 69, dudes! We've only done 11 main quests. I don't know how many there are. But we've got 56 hours in the game. I bet we finish by around 70, 75. Just a guess. But it's my guess, and I'm sticking to it. What's the last one you did? We went and found Olin at a machine site where they were bringing machines back to life. We spared Olin's life, and he told us about his family, even though we had already read about his family, that he was being blackmailed due to his traitorous actions. We're up to Into the Borderlands, finding out that Ursa, probably not dead, but was instead kidnapped, and Maker's End, looking into the mysterious woman who looks just like us among the crumbling ruins of an ancient city, and that's far to the north. We have not been up to Maker's End yet. We have not been up to Pitchcliff yet. That's what we've got in the story, and I think we'll save that for tomorrow and Saturday. You have more left than you think, that's all I'll say. Right on. This is good. It's a good thing. If we don't finish Saturday, I am fine with that. I just want to have a plan in place for another game come next week. At some point next week, we'll be playing a new game. Rango, that happened to me a few times too. It was when I finally decided to stream it that I was committed enough to playing through all of the first Witcher. If you're not getting into it, it's not the end of the world to skip ahead. But you'd set up you'd have a lot of fun with the characters and situations in the third game if you have some extra familiarity with them. But it's not required. You do alright starting with 3. Iceman, I'm in the same boat. Did that look like the code could be transferred? The way the email for the Witcher 2 code that GOG is sending out made it sound like, is it already linked somehow to your GOG account? Or do you think that code from the email could really be handed out? Because if it can, I've got one too. They made it clear that you could give it away. Really? It said something like, make sure to redeem this on the account. Make sure you're signed into GOG on the account you are in the Gwent beta with, and redeem it there. Well, hey, if the code works for someone, then yeah. Didn't we need a Ravager's Heart for something? Was that for the Blazon armor? We did a Ravager's Heart? Charger. I think we needed a Charger's Heart. Not a Ravager. Wonder if that's one we can buy. Rango, hit me up on Discord after the stream. I'll hook you up with that other one. Yeah, if Iceman is passes one on to Rotacon, Rango, I still got one for you. I just hope it works.
I can still get the upper hand.
Still get the upper hand. What's she talking about? Oh, whatever that is. Something saw her. A rock breaker! We got a new machine! Whoa! Out of nowhere. Body weak to freeze. Sensitive to sound, this massive machine burrows underground and surfaces with devastating force. Weak to freeze, strong against fire. Has a digging arm, an exhaust port, and a fuel sack. It's underneath us. No, wait, is it? Is there more than one? Shit. I don't have any frost tripwires. An override is still locked on these things. Doesn't even know I'm here, but it's just slinging rocks anyways, and it's just as effective. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
You're everyone, aren't you? I know you hide your face in the ground.
Oh, shit. Trying to pull their digging claws off so they can't get underground. Seems like that should work. Yeah, Chronic Cyberpunk, definitely. We just don't have a lot of news yet, so it's a little hard to get so excited when we know so little. So I bet that cold, there's two of them, remember? And that cold... There we go. But what good does that do? It just makes it more vulnerable. Where's Frosty? Where's Frosty? Oh sure, he's Frosty, so now he stays underground. He's gonna come up and the frost will have worn off. He won't be brittle anymore. Not much. He was though! Sweet! Yes! Yes! An acquisition machine.
I've got other ammo.
It's pretty far away. I see the purple.
Much farther now. Olin said he found
40% fire.
Ancient device.
We're gonna have to make room for
She's
that.
my mother. Why would there be traces of her all the way out here? So far from Noraland. I don't get it. Who is she?
Hello! What's up, city? Been watching some Twin Peaks, huh? Maybe? Or was that more of a... Hello! Ho, 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 ho. Guess it could be that. Thunderjaw Heart. Cool. When did we pick that up?
Her name is Elizabeth Sobek.
Wait, what?
You.
The voice.
Flying through my focus again. Well, go on. What do you know about her?
Stay on your present course, and before long, you'll know her as well as I do. Maybe better, but be wary. Maker's End is crawling with Eclipse troops. To help you deal with them, I've left some useful equipment just outside the ruins. Your focus will show the location.
Useful equipment? Yes, please.
Who is he and how does he know these things? He said Elizabeth Sobek.
Elizabeth
Sobek.
Sobek. Broyles. Yeah, oh, and Broyles, of course. How did I forget Broyles? I was trying to place the voice before, and I watched John Wick 2 last night. He was in that. I know him from Lost. He was in that. And Broyles. Oh man. Yeah, from Fringe. Biggest one of all. Now I feel really silly that I didn't place the voice immediately. So the equipment stash that he was talking about, Broyles was talking about, is outside of the ruins up here at Maker's End. It's all good, City. I hope to get back to the point where we can have a couple early streams which start a lot earlier. I know that the current stream times are not ideal for people in Europe and East, but we used to do things at different times. You know, I used to have late streams and some early streams. Now all these streams are just smack in the middle of the day for me. But we'll eventually get back to having some early starts. That should at least make a couple streams here and there much more accessible to people across the pond. One day, we'll get back to those one day. Let's get
This storm's gonna back down.
close to
before
this
I do.
cauldron, then I'm gonna take a short break, and then we'll head in. Are we still missing one type of enemy? Just one. And I think it's gonna be a Deathbringer. We've heard the name now in-game as well as in chat, Deathbringer. I think Deathbringer is the one that's missing. Only one that's missing. I know, City, and I just hope that that it's not too far off. That we get to have some long streams and some early streams. I don't think it's too far off. But I know you're here when you can be. It's all you can do. It's awesome.
Good for Red Remedy.
Claire, I'm not sure what's going on that you're getting a lot of extra lag, but the numbers look okay here. No one else has mentioned lag, so sometimes if you pause the stream, this is what I've been told, instead of refreshing, you can just pause the stream. And it might catch you up to current when you unpause it. So you hit pause, then you unpause, and that might do it. The Alien Isolation Halloween stream was really insane. Really insane. You felt stressed for me, and obviously I felt stressed during a lot of that. It was still a lot of fun, and it ended up being such an incredible game that even through all the frustrations, it was worth it. You're mine! Bork, 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 bork. What I heard. Oh! My Shellwalker's kicking ass. And getting his ass kicked. No, you killed my Shellwalker. Bark, 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 bark. Good job.
I can't spare the weight.
I don't think we need the Shellwalker lenses, though. Okay. Was one claw bigger than the other? What do you mean? The left and the right, one's the shield and one's the lightning. Is that what you were asking about? One claw bigger than the other, or do you mean one of the Shellwalkers was actually bigger? Cauldron Zeta.
Easy, easy.
Okay, I'm gonna take a short break, about 5 minutes, put something on, and then I'm gonna stretch. I'll be back. Iceman, have a good lurk. If anyone's taking off during the break, have a good night. We're gonna do one more thing today. We're gonna go through this cauldron. And I think we'll wrap after this cauldron, even if it's not a full hour, 90 minutes, whatever. And if it takes that, it takes that. Let me take a break, and we'll do this cauldron, and then I think we'll wrap for the day. For now, Vegas, baby, Vegas.